So, classic example of how you can get this so wrong. I came to this apiary about an hour ago and came to trim around all these hives. You might have seen this apiary before. It's my last one to do. And I came and there was a big swarm on the ground. What I thought was this colony swarming. So I put a box on the ground and a lot of the bees went in and everything looked fine. And then I've just started going through this colony to see if there's any queen cells in this one. And I was thinking, well, this honey smells a bit weird, almost as though it's fermented, and there's no brood here, no cells, nothing. So what this was actually was a swarm from somewhere else or from this apiary that has gone into the box because it was basically a dead out over the winter, but really clean because I had the mouse guard up still and I was coming round to remove it and bring another colony to put there. So just to show you that you can get it completely wrong sometimes. And so what I've done now is, because it's a fairly good sized swarm, and I think the queen has finally gone in, because this is kind of like the telltale sign that she is in, and they're not stressed now, because in the box I put next to it, they were really agitated and really not happy. But I tipped the whole lot inside this top of this box, and now they're all fanning like mad. I think the queen must be in there, but you just got to read the bees. And I knew something wasn't right in that box because they were agitated, they were running backwards and forwards, they weren't happy, they didn't have a queen in there. So I thought, I'll go into this one, give it a frame of bees and brood, sorry, a frame of cells and eggs, whatever. If I can find a queen, so great, put that in, that should sort the problem out, because obviously the queen's got lost somewhere. But then when you find this is actually the hive they were going to, it makes a bit of difference. So this week's a funny week, really. I've been getting around all my apiaries, but I'll show you the kind of weather we got. Fantastic day, but it's so cold. We're about 10-11 degrees, and I think the reason why this swarm settled here, it's obviously come from one of my hives here, because I haven't managed these properly. But I'm here now, and every day is a day forward from now on in this apiary. It's like a microclimate here. So we're protected. The wind comes from generally that way, but today it's coming from the north, which is completely sheltered behind this farm. And we're in like the lee. So we've got this microclimate here. This place is amazing for chestnut as well in the summer. Sometimes it just comes really good. And it does really well here. And I've had some of my best crops here, actually. I've had like 50 supers one year from this apiary alone. So that's some considerable, that's like, you know, nearly a ton from one apiary. For chestnut, that's really good. But just to show you that things can really act strange when you're not expecting it. But that's great, because that hive is filled. I haven't got to take that away now. I'll find out where it came from in here and sort all the other ones out. But that's the kind of week we've had. I've had a friend of mine send me a video of the same, where a swarm came out of the hive and it's like dripped on every single colony, because it's too cold to fly almost, but they're just going to go because they feel they've got to. And the weather's so cold, we're locked into this system where we've got a big high pressure stationed over Ireland, and it's an anticyclone going, feeding air from northern Scotland, from higher up there, Arctic Circle air, all the way down through the UK and all the way down Belgium into us, northern France. And we are, you know, struggling. I have to admit, though, that it's actually so much better to have some nice sunshine than not, because we have had so many days of cloudy, crappy, gloomy weather. And just having this sunshine and doing some bee work is great. So there you go. That's kind of where we are at the moment. Well, what a strange spring. We are only 8 degrees. Maximum has been 10s, 11s and 12s the last 4 days. You can see my wisteria on the house has been basically hammered by the wind and the cold. Beautiful spectacle, but this spring is really going to be a bit of a dead loss the way things are going. However, there is always optimism. We will have some spring honey, I think, and I don't think it'll be a lot, and I think it'll be a real pain to extract, because there's going to be only a little bit on each hive. But as we say, it is what it is. At least we managed to get all the grass cut. We're on top of all that because it's been lovely and dry, but cold, as I said. And just got to keep on. We're going to be starting splits soon. We're going to be making queens. We're going to be harvesting. I've finished all my accounts, but now I've got to go back to the accountant with some other queries they had on why I've done certain things, which is always a bit worrying. Lol. No, it's all above board. It's just that hassle of having to go back through all your notes and everything, sort things out. However, this morning I've got a very special delivery coming to the honey house, and I'm super excited to receive this. I don't know what it's going to be like. I've never bought from this company before. I don't know anyone else has bought from this company, but sometimes you just got to say what the hell and take a bit of a risk. So let's see what happens. Just waiting for the delivery guy, so I know he's literally around the corner, and he's going to come past and hopefully not go that way and come up here instead. Just show you this rapeseed though, it's finished. If we get warm weather now, that was probably him. If we get warm weather now, it won't make any difference really. I knew it was going to do this. There we are. That was epic. 3 meters 30. What a piece of kit. And there it is. Fully erect, if you pardon, missus. Pretty impressed. Very nice piece of kit. Just stop it there and I'll give you a bit of a look around. So basically this is the one I saw that I've been looking at for a while. I've got a couple of scuff marks already on the skirt, but you know what, I can live with that. I can't be bothered to moan about that because that's what's going to happen anyway. Really pleased with that. What a great start to the day. Got this piece of perspex there that apparently protects you if anything spills out of a pallet. Quite impressed with that as well. If you want to charge it, that's your lead. Very simple. You've got an emergency stop, you've got your lifting weights there, max loads. So 700 kilos at 330, so that's exactly what I wanted. So I won't be lifting anything probably more than 450, 400 kilos from the ground to the top of the mezzanine anyway. But it just shows you what it can do. I'm pretty happy with that. And even at 2,700, which is the second height of my racking inside, I can get a ton on it. I mean, I'm sure it's like a bit variable anyway, but I don't want to go over it. But I'm very happy. There's the company, Dally Garden Co. German company operating in France as well. Really, really happy with this. What a piece of kit. And on the controls, okay, you can regulate the speed forwards and backwards, a little bit quicker or slower. You've got your basic forward and back, on and off. You've got to move it down to move it forward. You've got to have well, it's quite a good safety thing, so that the actual the forward and back only work when you have the lever down, which is really good. And if you hit this part here, that red handle, that will stop. That's got automatic brakes on it. I'm actually scared now because now I could damage my shed. Oh, lovely. Just a quickie before I sign off for this week, because I'm going to be just doing transfers and other stuff. Chink in the weather today. It's just cleared through from Bing, but it's still really cold. No flowers. No real movement of bees, apart from a swarm that came out yesterday. One went into the tree there, one went there from that nuke on the right that I split because there was a queen cell. So I left one cell, and guess what? I made another one, another two, and I split into two. So I'm going to get those into a box later, but there is no movement. It's freezing cold. We had rain last night. There's no real sign of the weather actually changing much. But I'm still able to do transfers this afternoon, which is what I'm going to be off to do in a minute. However, having the new loader means I was able to unload that first load of hives from there, put them on the back of the truck so I can put them all together. And I was able to bring the heavy load of supers, and all that whole thing, not heavy load of supers, all that whole thing is actually frames of honey that I've harvested over the last few weeks and in the autumn last year. So be it frames of honey or pollen, or be it just frames of honey, those are all going to go into my hives now as I make the hives up. So I can put 2 frames or 1 frame each side of honey, depending on how much space is in the rest of the colony, that I transfer into a 10-frame hive. And that will give it that feed, because I'm already thinking our nectar flow is virtually done. I mean, it's done. So I've got to now think already of feeding these colonies that I want to keep growing. So if I put 2 frames of honey in, they're not going to swarm because they've got big colonies and they're going to need feed. They're going to need carbohydrate. There's plenty of pollen in the next 4 or 5 weeks before the summer flow starts in mid-June. But believe it or not, I'm already thinking of that, and I know that is what they're going to need. And in 2 weeks' time, when it really is finished, there might be a tiny bit of nectar flow between now and the next 2 or 3 weeks if we have warm weather. But there's no sign of it at all on the horizon. It's really not good at all. All these flowers that the bees should be all over right now, all that hawthorn, is not going to be utilised at all because it's just not going to give nectar. So at least I can use those resources that I have put together since last October, when I put those frames on all that Facili honey. I hope that will help me out now and give my bees some free feed. However, I've got feed, as you know. I just don't particularly want to start using it yet, but I might have to. There it is, all ready to go. And I've got the ability now to just lift it up, put it over the top of the truck, and then pour it in into individual buckets as I need to. All that is just, to me, it's like, that's what you pay your money for. That's why I can move things now, manual handle things easily with this machine. And not even think about there being a problem, up or down, wherever I want to put it. Wherever we need to go. So easy to use. And it's just all there for when I need it. Absolutely brilliant. Don't need it that high at the moment because all that honey's got to come off and be used. So, but it just shows you now that in this whole area I've created with the finished polished floor, with all of that, this will be able to be used everywhere in the honey house. And that's what it's all about. So, bye for now. I'm going to be beavering away the next few days, just trying to get everything up straight while the cold weather continues. But so far, so good, and things are moving forward. Bye for now.